Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bastion YGO here, and today guys, it's a very special day because up in New York, as time recording the video, there is a regional going on in St. John's that my boy Rob just let me know on. So reppin' game day, toys and games, baby. Let's go. Good luck to you guys out there. By the time this is uploaded, you guys have already played, but wish you guys best of luck out there to anyone going and playing in the regional in St. John's. I believe it's hosted by Gamers Choice, if I'm not mistaken, so very big, should be a huge event. So best of luck to you guys. Have fun. But now onto today's video. Today's video, guys, I'm going to be going over the top 5 cards that need to get banned in this upcoming ban list. As of right now, they're not going to be in any specific order, so they're not going to be, you know, one needs to be banned more than the other. These are just cards that I believe need to go, and their time has long been or is coming up, and now they no longer need to be legal. So without further ado, guys, if you guys do enjoy these types of videos, let me know in the comment section down below. You can also let me know by smashing that like, subscribe, and let's get right into this discussion. So guys, all the cards that I'm going to be talking about in this video are going to be right over here, right in front of this cool display I got for you guys now. So really cool. I'm very excited for it. But number one on our list is Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion has been around for so long, guys. This card's been around for a very long time. It has been very easily abused by the top decks for a very long time as well. I'm talking about Prank Kid abused this card, now Tearlaments are abusing this card, and many other decks in between as well. Before, after, they never really going to stop. With that being said, there's been so many low-level fusion monsters that have just been overly hyped because of Instant Fusion just being legal in the meta, and now Ready Fusion's kind of taken over its place as the new Instant Fusion as well, but not nearly as effective. So Instant Fusion is the card that needs to go. I mean, you had that level 2 tuner bird that came out a while back, Sea Monster Theseus, Elder Entity Norton, if I'm not mistaken as well. Going back to, again, the Prank Kids, going back to current format, which is Kit Kalos, but just being abused by this card is what makes it so fusion decks have the easiest access to some of these strongest cards in the game without having to really pay the consequences of actually fusion summoning, which should take 1 to 2 monsters. This just activates a spell, you get to summon it out for free. It's not enough of a cost, where this is where a card like Gale Dogra just comes in to be that much more of a fair card, because it takes up your normal summon. It's a monster effect, which is more easily negatable than a spell, and then not only that, you're paying 3,000 life points compared to the measly only 1,000 with Instant Fusion. So at this point, I think Instant Fusion has just proven that it's way too powerful a card, and it just unfortunately just needs to go. Also, mid video, I just figured out how to fix the lighting, so hopefully it's a little bit better, makes a little bit more sense as far as what my actual skin color is. Anyway, guys, number 4 on our list, I have Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave has been a pain in everyone's behind for the longest time at this point. As a card that came out, I believe 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 2017, 2018, and it was seen immediately as one of the most powerful cards in the game. Just being able to counter not just each and every single hand trap essentially known to exist, but on top of that, is able to stop some of the best strategies moving forward and from its time of release. So basically being able to not only negate that monster's effect, but any card with that name as well, has made this card one of the strongest cards ever to be printed in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think keeping it at 1 makes it just a bit too luck-sacky. It's comparable, I read in a recent article, and I 100% agree to it, to Max C. So Max C, let's take it into consideration, is not Max C level, but it's comparison to the point where it becomes a bit of a luck sack, right? So let's say you have an unsearchable card that is extremely dominant, and its only real use is to completely obliterate your opponent, but there's no way to search it, and there's essentially only comes up in a more or less a niche scenario. That is Called by the Grave, and that is Max C as well. These cards do not work at 1 or 2. They need to be either at 3 to decrease the sackiness of it, or they need to be at 0, in which case I believe that's the case with Called by the Grave. There was a time where I would have preferred this card be at 3. Not just thinking about it from a business perspective, guys, just from my playing perspective, there's nothing that feels worse than you think you got the out to your opponents and they have the luck sack to have the one Called by the Grave. So it's just a card that just needs to go at this point. Number 3 on our list, guys, I have Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. This card has oppressed formats for the past some years. First, it was Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk with the Simorg Bird, and they would special summon that guy out for free, no cost whatsoever. You just have to summon the big bird, which gave you protection anyway, if I'm not mistaken, and then you special summon this guy for free. And now is being abused by Fluandries and is forcing people to find specific ways to deal with this one card when it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean, we've had a barrier statue cards for I don't know how long at this point. They've never really been an issue because none of them have had the ease of accessibility that this card now does. So the fact that it's a winged beast, the fact that it's a wind attribute just has so much synergy with a lot of cards that easily give you access to these type and attribute of cards. I mean, if we had, let's say, a warrior earth instead of a rock earth barrier statue, then that would be an issue as well, being that it's easily accessible through other means of searchability. So with the wing beast strategy and the wind attribute getting more and more support as time goes by, barrier statue of stormwinds just gets that and that much more oppressive with its ease accessibility to the card that then oppresses each and every single other deck. I just think at this point, it is time for Barrier Statue Stormwinds to go kaputs and go away forever. So Konami, get on this. Stormwind needs to go to 0. At number 2 on our list, guys, I have Terraforming. Terraforming. Okay, let's talk about this, right? So Terraforming was at 3 not that long ago, right? Maybe well, in the grand scheme of things, not that long ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, it was at 3. It wasn't that big of an issue. And then Trickstar Light Stage got released, and then Dragonic Diagram got released, and now we have the Primeval Planet, whatever the hell the Tearlaments field spell is, and then we have ABC Dragon Buster field spell, Union Hanger, and all these incredibly strong field spells started to pop up out of nowhere. Now field spells are a problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! So the ability that, okay, I understand that Konami wants to make stronger cards. I definitely understand that power creep is a thing. You gotta make money and you gotta keep the people interested by giving them stronger cards. I get it. But having this easily accessible, it feels very similar to, like I said before, with Call by the Grave. And it's an extremely powerful card that searches you stronger cards that synergize directly with your deck. It's a one-of, it's a luck sack. So with this, I'm not a big fan of Terraforming still being in the format. It does feel a bit too luck based to have Terraforming still be here. There are some people that say that the Tearlaments field spell is the problem. That's the one that needs to get the axe. And I think the whole Tearlaments deck is a situation because you can just keep shuffling stuff back with the Shizu cards, so you never really run out of resources, which means you really don't need Terraforming. And even if you do have Terraforming, you can continuously activate Terraforming by shuffling it back into your deck, and then you have endless amounts of Terraforming, which makes it that much more oppressive and that much more of a reason why Terraforming has seen its day, its time has come, and it just needs to go right now. And before we get to our number 1 pick, again, it's not necessarily any order, it's just the order that I have them here on my screen, whatever. But I do have a few honorable mentions for you guys. 3 honorable mentions, first of all being the Mention Shifter. It's been a really good hand trap for a little bit over a year now. It's been really oppressive, can be used now, easily abused by Kashtira, Fluwanderees. I'm sure there are other decks that can easily use this as well that I'm currently not able to think of at the moment. I believe Crystal Beast as well, even though it's currently not doing anything too bad, it can be a decent deck at times. The Tearlaments field spell, I do see the understanding behind it, but the fact that I can continue to shuffle it back anyway, even if it's at 1, it's just going to be able to be put back into the deck. I don't think banning is necessarily going to be the answer to go up against Tearlaments. And the last honorable mention I have for you guys is Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf has easily, since its release, become one of the most versatile and easily splashable Link 2 monsters in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Every single deck is using it if it has any level 2, and the best tier 0 deck is using it as well to special summon Merly on your opponent's turn, and then continue to go off about their plays as well. So I think Sprite Elf, while it is an issue card, I think it's just a little bit too early in its lifespan in order to be able to hit it to that degree, given that it's not necessarily, well, it is a very, very strong card, it's not the problem when it comes to Sprite or Tearlaments. So, and that is going to be it for the honorable mentions, guys. Now let's go on to the number 1 card that I think should be released, not released, should be banned, heading into this next ban list, and I'm going to have Tearlaments Havnis. So, there may be some conflicting feelings when it comes to this card. I mean, I understand that the field spell, while it is just as easily as new as Havnis, and Sprite Elf is as well, I believe they came out in the exact same pack also. The issue with Elf and the field spell is that they don't directly impact the game quite the way that havnis does. They require a lot more setup. You have to search it, you have to actually summon out the elf and have a level 2 in the GY. The field spell can be popped, whatever might have you. Havnis lets you mill during your opponent's turn, so even if you are not going first with this card, you can easily go first with this card. It's the same issue I have with Kelbeck, but Kelbeck is too new for it to get banned. It just came out 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, so Kelbeck is brand new, but that is a problem card as well. I just think Havnis is too strong at this current moment in order to be able to have a more balanced overall game, in order to be able to for us to be able to play other decks than just a tier 0 deck. I think that Havnis does need to go at this current time. All 5 of these cards need to go. So a quick summary: Terraforming, Instant Fusion, Called by the Grave, Barrier Statue, the Stormwinds, and Tearlaments Havnis have proven that they have been way too powerful. Not only if they're older cards, it's because they've been constantly abused in top tier decks, and for Tearlaments Havnis, it has been the main issue, I believe, with Tearlaments since the decade match, being able to play on your opponent's turn as well. To that level of degree, don't get me wrong, Fluanderu does it as well, but not to the level, again, that Tearlaments does. Not only do they mill once, those 3 mills can lead to them milling 15 to 20 cards, and then they're taking up your entire turn, and they're essentially playing with themselves. I know what I said, okay, you know what I meant as well. But they're playing with themselves, essentially, to a point where you're not even getting a chance to play the game. And that's essentially what I see the issue with these cards, is that they are not making the game the most fun it can be, which is then hurting the game, because a lot of people have been leaving the game, whether it's to go explore other ventures or to play the one-piece trading card game, which I've been learning on the side. It's kind of cool, and it's not overly expensive to get into, which I kind of like. Anyway, beside the point, guys. So I just want to go and get my thoughts out there. These are the top 5 cards I think do need to get banned. I do have my honorable mentions list as well, so if you guys want to go ahead and discuss it, let's go ahead and do it in the comment section down below. But if you guys did enjoy and stuck around to the very end, thank you guys, each and every single one, for watching. Like the video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.